Hello, this is I Go Travel with Don Barnett. We are going to make a quick trip out to Vancouver. Come along. Let's see Fort Langley, the birthplace of British Columbia. Then see a simulated fly across Canada, and then go home by the way of the Coquihalla Highway. There are several highways that lead into Vancouver. The main one is the Trans-Canada Highway in yellow here that goes right into Vancouver to the waterfront where we are going. You can also come in from Kelowna on this highway here, the Coquihalla, down into Hope, and then from Hope to Vancouver, or you can come on highway number 3, the Crow's Nest Highway. The most common highway has been the Trans-Canada Highway. However, a number of years ago, they built a beautiful 4-lane, high-elevation road called the Coquihalla, and most truck traffic and other traffic takes the Coquihalla over to the Trans-Canada Trail and bypassing the old route of Cache Creek and following the Fraser River down to Hope and then on into Vancouver. So let's drive into Vancouver. And on the way into Vancouver, we'll stop at Fort Langley, about in this area here. And we'll take a look at the old fort, and then we'll go right to the waterfront and look at the simulated video. And then we'll drive back up out to Hope, and we'll take the new high-elevation 4-lane highway, the Coquihalla, and we'll branch off of it and take 97C and end up the video in Kelowna, in the Okanagan. The highway between Hope and Vancouver is a busy, multi-lane highway. We always like to stop at Fort Langley. It's the old original fur trading post in the area. Fort Langley is a National Historic Site and was established as a fur trading post in the early days. It is where BC modern history begins. The large city of Langley itself is on the other side of the highway, which is on the south side. But the original Fort Langley is on the north side here, alongside the banks of the Fraser River. Fort Langley is a good-sized community with a number of stores and residences, and where you can buy things like antiques and other merchandise. We always like to grab a bite to eat. In summer, there are a number of sidewalk eating places. Fort Langley was built in 1827 as a fur trading post. In summer, now it has numerous displays and activities, and hosts are dressed in clothes characteristic of the fur trade era. There are numerous excellent historical displays at the fort. Furs were brought in by canoe from the north and east. Then they were packaged up to be transported by large sailing ships to Europe and even to the Orient. The fort was built for 2 reasons. One was to handle the fur trade, and the other was to offset American influence and designs to surge further north. The fort succeeded in both instances and is now known as the birthplace of the Canadian province of British Columbia. Fort Langley was the center of the fur trade. These wicked old leg-hold traps are still legal and widely used in Canada. They cause an animal extreme suffering until death occurs by the injury itself, or a long time in the trap, or freezing to death. Any animal that you are not trapping, any innocent animal, faces the same death if caught in these traps. Over 100 countries have banned these leg-hold traps, including all countries of the European Union. In Canada, trapping regulations vary according to province by province. Most trapping occurs in Canada in the provinces of Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta. In British Columbia, you must take a trapping course. You must continually keep checking your traps on a regular basis, and you must anchor your traps to a tree or to the ground so the animal doesn't suffer more by dragging the trap over a distance in order to escape. Although some people voluntarily post signs, there is no rule that you must post a sign to say traps are set in the area. So watch your pets and kids. These are some excellent paintings at the fort. The conibear trap, which was an instant kill trap that prevented long-term suffering, has never been required in Canada. The famous Hudson Bay blankets are on display at the fort, and they came in both the white and red colors. From Fort Langley, we took the high-speed rail right down to the Vancouver waterfront. It poured rain, but we still enjoyed seeing the urban concentration from the elevated train. We are at the waterfront and the 5 landmark sails. These white sails light up in different colors at night. The sails were built for the 1986 World's Fair, and they celebrate Vancouver's rich maritime history and its status as a major Pacific port. The sails cover a convention center, the Pan Pacific Hotel, and the cruise ship terminal. We walked into Canada Place, and it was pretty impressive. We found what we were looking for, the flyover, which was a video presentation on flying across Canada. Everyone liked to experience the flyover, including many cruise ship passengers. The flyover presentation made you grab onto your chairs and hang on. While it was good in some areas, it also had some questionable areas in it. Our group was herded into a waiting room initially, and I say herded because we did not know what we were doing or what was happening next. I guess we were waiting for the group ahead of us to see the main presentation. In this room, however, we were presented with some low-quality pictures of the country that was projected onto the walls. The host spoke with somewhat of an accent, but the accent was fine. The problem was that she spoke very rapidly, and it was hard to follow her. Whoever runs this organization obviously had not taken the time to train their personnel adequately.
I just wish I was home.
Acoustics were not that good as the sound bounced off the walls.
Seems the only thing Canada has in common is how different it all is.
Our time came, and we moved into a second room and sat down in some chairs. The three-dimensional presentation was fast and quite exciting. We obviously are over the Arctic, I think. Night mountains here and back across the Arctic again. It looks like an Arctic community here, but I'm not sure. Movement was fast, and often you just were not sure where in Canada you were now seeing. Now we are over some city, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto. Printed captions would have helped. Where are we? I recognize the prairies here. Train. Cowboy country? The speed was fast and people clung and gripped their seats, just like they were in the real airplane. Back to mountains quickly. Where? The scenery was impressive. Rock climbers here, but where I don't know. And the glacier, great. Where? I'm guessing we're flying over the Maritimes somewhere. This looks like Newfoundland by the bright colors, painted houses. What? No, Lunenburg. Somewhere where I'd like to go in the fall. Where? Maybe Cape Breton Island? I'm guessing. Looks like Quebec City. Fast-moving video. Exciting but unknown. This is the Toronto Tower, I guess. This single scene makes the whole flyover video a farce for me. Niagara Falls, they show only the inferior American Falls on the US side. They never show the superior and magnificent Horseshoe Falls that are in Canada. Do you think this Canadian presentation contracted out the filming job to a US firm? Wouldn't be the first time. I could not get out of the building fast enough. We left Vancouver and drove to Hope and looked for Highway number 5, the Coquihalla, and took it as far as Merritt, partway up to Kamloops, and then we went on the 97C across to Kelowna, where we wrapped up this video. The Coquihalla is a 4-lane high-elevation highway that rises 1,444 meters at a point north of Merritt, where we are going to turn off onto Highway 97 and go east to Kelowna. Truck traffic to and from points east, like Alberta and eastern Canada, now run the Coquihalla through Kamloops. It is much faster than going on the Trans-Canada Highway route through Cache Creek and down along the Fraser River. The countryside of the Coquihalla is open, high mountain country, as opposed to a lot of steep cliffs, canyons, and nearby high mountains. In summer, it is a fast, beautiful road. In winter, it can be a difficult experience because of the high elevation that brings winter storms and blizzards with icy roads and blinding snow. A huge forest fire ripped through this part of the country a few years ago. We are dropping down to Lake Okanagan. We are crossing the Kelowna floating bridge across Lake Okanagan. This is the only floating bridge in Canada and one of only 9 in the world. Built in 2008, the early years required a toll fee, but that has been since discontinued. The 5-lane bridge is over a kilometer long and floats on concrete pontoons. This now easy crossing of the lake has created an urban boom that continues to this day. And that is a little part of southern BC. Hit the subscribe button and Google the following address. We've made several videos of this area. To find those other videos, just Google my name, Don Barnett 5090. Then click on my name, hit the word playlists, and scroll down. Each playlist contains several travel videos.